first T20I. Hello and welcome. We are here and it's a gorgeous evening here in Mumbai. This is Match Centre Live. I'm Ridhima, Pathak. A full house here. We've got Shivani Bhaskar, Anjum Chopra as well as W.E. Raman. Hello and welcome. It is a rather special day right out of the WPL auction, but more importantly, I'll start with you, W.E. Well, India does need to plot a comeback tonight.
Yeah, they will be because they had a reasonably ordinary game first up.
Right, well, I have to say that they were all geared up in the first game, but, well, England did draw the first blood and they're up in the series. Let's go straight away to the toss where we've got Harman and Heather Knight gearing up. 21 for 7 and 6 for 3 since 2021. You won the last two games here. Now, India do have to play a fearless branch of cricket here in front of an opposition like that.
Yeah, they have to tighten up as well. Bowling to a Danny White, the length and the line has to differ. And if Harman says that the bowlers have worked on it, it might come out all right in match number 1 exactly. Since they've practiced, it might not, but at least they're more aware about it.
That's right. Shibani, you know, England batting first last time, put up 197. What should be India's approach getting into the second T20 international, which is a do or die for India? They've got to keep their hopes alive here.
Well, I'd say 3 parts to it. The first, of course, the goal today, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Right, well, we'll be talking about this match more, but let's first talk about the WPL auction, the big news there. And let's take a look at the top 5, the big ones who went ahead with Jio Cinema. So I'm going to start with you, Anjum. How do you think Gujarat Giants fared at the WPL?
You'll have to repeat that.
Yeah, it's getting really loud here, so I'm just saying that how do you think Gujarat Giants fared at the WPL auction?
Well, the result to be... having said that, Gujarat should be pretty pleased, and that smile they should carry forward in the very first game that they play.
That's right. Well, Shamari went unsold, but coming back to the Indians here, Kashvi Gautam and Vrinda Dinesh. More importantly, W with Vrinda Dinesh going to UP Warriors. You could probably see her bat along with Alisa Healy. Now, how big a deal is that for a youngster going ahead and getting that kind of experience in the camp?
Massive. It started today with a massive...
Right, now those were the big ones. Now, talking about the steals of the auction, Danny White, who we saw right here at the Wankhede Stadium in action in the previous game, put up a big, massive total, and she got hurt runs right in time, and she's been stolen by UP Warriors for 30 lakhs. Now, Danny White to UP Warriors just for 30 lakhs.
Again, a steal, just like they managed Alisa Healy in the first auction. It was a steal they managed.
Right, well, those were the top 5 we just saw. Along with that, some steals out there. Of course, there were names like Ekta Vish that also came up, as well as Kate Cross. Now, coming back to the match, well, India's batting first. Let's take a look at their playing 11. They made that one change.
Like a Julan Goswami to be replaced, but it has only been in words. It has never been in action. The one seam bowler is either earlier on the Shikha part of the Indian team doesn't matter because she's a young player. She needs time out there against an international team. So it's good that she's getting an outing. How she fares later, but it's good that she's out there.
That's right. Let's shift gears and let's go to England's playing 11 out there. And remember, they've won the toss and elected to bowl. That's right. Now, talking about India's batting, now, that was a bit of a disappointment last time. I believe the only positive that came out of India's clan was, of course, Shefali Verma. But other than that, if there is one person who needs to step up, it is Smriti Mandhana. Now, this is an opponent that she loves to bat against, 660 runs, the highest run she scored against this opponent. And what is it about her? That she loves scoring big against England and Australia, but that's the kind of flair that we want to see here in the second T20I as well.
We talk about consistency quite a bit, and that consistency needs to show. She's a quality batter. She's done well in the past. She will
definitely will be faced by Natsiva Brunt, and that is the showdown that we're all looking forward to. And Natsiva Brunt has got Smriti's number. She's dismissed her 5 times in 13 innings. Now, since you have been saying I'm all about left-handers, even at the WPL auction you were backing them, you have to tell me, how does this left-hander sort of save herself against Natsiva Brunt?
And who's that left-hander we're talking about?
Smriti Mandhana.
Yeah, because the crowd has just started talking the moment we've started mentioning Smriti's name. So again, against Natsiva Brunt, you know, both of them know each other very well. They've blitzering first start to striking the ball and at least get your timing right. Once that happens, then step 2, 3 and 4.
That's right. And the other half of the Spa-packed opening duo is Shefali Verma. Now, she had a fighting 50 in the previous match. And this show-buckling athlete is all guns blazing. And this is what she had to say before the series to us.
We are very happy and keen to play with them.
And the Indian team for sure has benefited a lot from this hard hitter as she's hitting at the strike rate of 124. With that, let's take a look at what the 22 yards look like. This is Pitch Report brought to you by Kajaria Tiles.
In their line and length to the Indian batters.
Well, you heard from Anju right there. Now she's here in the studio, but I'll continue chatting about Shefali Verma. We've got Shabani here. Now, Shefali Verma, we were talking about how big a contribution she is to the Indian team, especially striking at the rate of 124 in the power play. Now, how much has India benefited out of her game?
Well, she's an aggressive bat right up top. In the last year, she hasn't.
Right, well, that was Shefali Verma. And Shefali Verma, of course, did a bit in the first game, but there was nobody on the other side sharing that responsibility. Now, what India needs, that's right, and a big threat from the England camp would be Sophie Ecclestone, picking up 3 wickets, the world #1 spinner. Now, Sophie Ecclestone also had Shefali Verma, and she definitely struggles against left-arm spin. How does India handle the threat called, of course, Sophie Ecclestone?
That is a great question. I think most teams have that question.
But Sophie Ecclestone, too good.
Yeah, but, out there, how good was it by Heather Knight? Is because, you know and you're very well aware of the opponent's weaknesses. Where you have Shefali Verma, and we've seen it time and again, it's the off-spinner that she gets fixed at, and that's where she gets in Charlie Dean to bowl the very first over. That was a mastercard.
The ball going away from her, and she likes to free her arms, but that was not given. Charlie Dean slowed it up, and then always is firing one in right into the stumps, which makes it very difficult.
Yep, Heather Knight just using her bowlers so well tonight, and everyone performed. Now, talking about the Indian batters, Jemimah Rodrigues on the other side, of course, held fort, but she couldn't find anyone on the other end to sort of share that responsibility with her. But how good was she tonight? Were you impressed?
Very impressive. She was holding fort, as you mentioned, 30 runs off 33. It was difficult out there. It was a little too much just for one batter. It's the pressure of having to score big.
Also, Deepti Sharma had 2 wickets there. Hello and welcome. This is Match Centre Live. I'm Ridhima Pathak. And England have won this match by 4 wickets with 52 balls to spare. And they also sealed the series right here at Wankhede. Well, I'm joined by Shabani as well as W.E. Raman. Hello there. Well, good evening. I'll start with you, W.E. We'll start with the way Indian bowlers fought back, especially the way Renuka Singh Thakur as well as the other pacer, Pooja Vastrakar bowled. Renuka Singh Thakur picked up where she left from. She had 2 wickets again in an over.
Yeah, to start off with, she was trying a bit too hard, I felt, Renuka Singh. That's why she...
All right. Well, that was the Indian bowlers trying to fight back out there. But let's talk about the way England paced this innings. There was hardly any runs on the board. You had 81 runs when you're chasing a low total like that. But talking about Alice Capsey, when she came 2 wickets down, and Alice Capsey there held the innings for England.
Yeah, scored a 25 off 20, and at one stage she was...
That was the English batters now, especially with the clinical effort out there by the bowling unit, by the English bowlers there. But coming back to Renuka Singh Thakur. Now, this is a comeback series for Renuka. She's coming off a rehab. And how impressive has she been in the first match as well as the second?
It's always a difficult phase when you come back to the camps, and then she would really work hard, develop her skills, and here she is, delivering at will, and she's become the lead bowler for Team India at this point now.
Right. But not just, of course, the bowlers, the fielders, and that was one issue in the very first game. And that catch by Amjot Kaur, that blinder of a catch when she plucked the ball right out of the air. How brilliant was that? Well, shifting gears to India's batting now. We've done a good job with the ball as well as in the field today, but India's batting, now that was one lackluster performance. You had a look at the pitch. Was there something there? Was there anything for the batters? Because
no, it's just a case of them really not sure about what they needed to do.
All of wickets, but you had the only positive on the other end where Jemimah Rodrigues stood there, got a 30 runs, and only 2 batters could get in double digits along with Smriti Mandhana. But with the T20 World Cup next year, W, there is a lot of things and a lot of gaps that have to be fulfilled by the Indian contingent. Where do they start?
No, it's a good batting unit. Let's not forget that. More or less, that is right, various things out. And also, game time is something that cannot be compensated. You got to give these youngsters a lot of game time, give that exposure. That's when they learn quickly enough, playing games, making mistakes and learning out of their mistakes.
Wrapped up this series, they won the first one by 38 runs, a match that saw over 350 runs in 40 overs. And here, this one winning by 4 wickets. It's time for the presentation. Let's head straight down to the centre. There you have it, Charlie Dean, the player of the match. Now remember, she was brought in instead of Monica Gore, her first match here in this series, and she delivered the goods with sending the openers back to the pavilion. But that's how it has panned out for England. Heather Knight would be very, very content with that brilliant... Welcome back to Match Centre Live, and there you have it. English players have sealed the series. They are up by 2. We've got another match tomorrow at Wankhede. India would want to play for pride and also try a few combinations. Now, let me tell you the big news this afternoon, the WPL auction. A lot of Indian bowlers as well as batters and youngsters got under the leadership of Meg Lanning. Remember that.
One is that Meg Lanning knows how to handle her. Two is which got Annabelle Sutherland.
Right. And on the other side, you had Kashmir Gautam, who went for 2 CR to the Gujarat Giants. Now, what a big deal it is for this youngster, Kashmir Gautam. They add a pacer to their clan. How is Gujarat Giants looking with Kashmir Gautam in the clan?
They're looking very good. The way she bowled, she's been bowling in the
network earlier when her parents were very happy with the award, with the money that she's gotten in and the way that she's been picked up. But they were also very aware of the fact that it's just the start. And that's exactly what the players need to identify, because the WPL just provides a platform for you to excel. It's all about the players, how they utilize this opportunity to actually stake a claim and say, right, we belong to this level.
Yeah, but you know, Anshum, you have some inside information, because as an insider, you predicted this for Kashmir Gautam.
And I'm not surprised at all. I think a couple of players have missed out here, sit out. You throw them in the deep ocean and say, right, can you do the same thing again and again? So I predicted this just because I feel that that player has an immense talent. And if nurtured from what she learns from here on, how she rubs shoulders with the international players, what she makes of this opportunity going forward, it's just a start. 2 crores, 20 crores is not just the point. It's about how many victories can you get for India and how quickly can you turn things around for India.
I think that question stands true for another Indian youngster who has picked up over 1 crore, and that's Vrinda Dinesh. Now, Vrinda Dinesh goes to UP Warriors. You've got an Elisa Healy there, and does she open with Elisa Healy? Out of the WPL auction, worth noting were the steals in Danny White, of course, is Kate Cross. Now, Danny White. Now, she had a very timely innings in the previous one where she had about 70 runs. Didn't score as much today, but it got out very cheaply. But Danny White, quite the steal.
Absolutely. She's been in immense form. She's been the leading run scorer.
Well, we'll be seeing her as well as the other English batters and bowlers in action tomorrow as well. Remember, the third T20I happens here, right here at the iconic stadium at Wankhede. And this is where we wrap, where, of course, England have wrapped up the series and they won the series. They sealed the series 2-0. But India still would want to play for pride. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Match Centre Live. As for you guys, you know where to catch us. Stay tuned to JioCinema for the entire coverage. See you tomorrow. 52 balls to spare. Hello and welcome. You're watching Match Centre Live, and I have to tell you, it's a beautiful evening here at Wankhede. It's a perfect day for a good game of cricket, I can tell you that. You're watching us on JioCinema, the home of blues, and I'm joined by a lovely panel of experts with W.V. Raman as well as Shibani Bhaskar. Hello there, good evening.
Hello, Ridhima, good evening, how are you?
Very well. Well, we'll start with what is India looking forward to and trying to get out of this particular match, Shibani?
I'm looking at a big game.
Right. Well, the crowd here, a word for them, because they've come out in support of Team India, irrespective of the results, and they are loud. And right. Whereas on the other side, you've got England making a couple of changes. We'll talk about it. But let me remind you, it's the same surface as yesterday. It's pitch number 8 in Wankhede. And here is the pitch report by Daggers and Murli Karthik, brought to you by Kajaria Styles.
Pitch roll. Let's see how it all plays out very soon.
Thank you so much, Daggers and Murli. Murli saying 150. Daggers making a strong point that it's a belter of a pitch, and there is no way it was an 80 all-out pitch. Now, talking about captaincy, Harmanpreet Kaur and Heather Knight. Heather Knight, brilliant with master strokes after master strokes. But before that, Harman. Now, W, you've seen Harman from close quarters. Well, we're also joined by Anjum Chopra here on Match Centre Live. Hello and welcome. And very quickly, let's take a look at India's playing 11. Now, Anjum, you were the air. She was just brilliant in the field. And just a brilliant display of athleticism. Well, we'll be showing that catch in a bit. But Amanjot getting a chance in this side instead of Pooja Vasrakar. First of all, what did you make of that catch yesterday?
Yeah, these are the times that you try and give opportunities to see what the others can do.
Now, you know, we're having some troubles listening to each other here just because Wankhede is so loud. And that's the beauty of this stadium, where the fans come out cheering for their heroes either way. Well, with that, let's shift gears to England's playing 11 with a couple of changes there, giving chances and of course to the youngsters coming in the squad. Let's take a look.
Different. Playing in India against an Indian team, irrespective of what the result of the series has been, it's going to be an important outing for these players.
Indeed, but a word on Heather Knight, just the way she has been, her mindset and approach throughout this series. Well, WE, 2 cents are up for the big match. It's a 30-20 between India and England here. But very quickly, let me remind you of the big day that we had yesterday, which was the WPL auction. Now, with WPL just around the corner, let me tell you, it was a day of big surprises, shocks, some big paydays for some players out there, some steals, as well as some key members missed out. Here is a recap. Well, the 5 franchises were extremely tactical, especially Mumbai Indians with that Shabnam Ismail deal. But having said that, Gujarat Giants had a big shopping day. Now, there were some shocks as well as there were some surprises and there were some steals. Now, Anjum, talking about steals, there were some key Indian players who did not make a big splash, but who are those names that you're still looking forward to who can make a big impact at the WPL?
The ones that were not picked, you were talking about?
The ones that did not make a big splash, Shri Gautam went for 2 crores, the right arm Seema. Now all eyes will be on her. But more importantly, there were some shocks as well, with Chamari Adapatu not being sold, Deandra Doughton, Kim Garth. Which of those unsold players came out as a big shock for you, Shibani?
Quite a few of them, but the biggest, the big 2 would be Deandra.
Exciting days ahead for women's cricket, coming back to the match that we have in our hands. Now, the biggest positive from India's clan was Renuka Singh Thakur. Now, Anjum, Renuka is coming into this as like a comeback series for Shanka Patil taking care of the low order. 126 on the board, 127 for India to chase. A fighting knockout there by Heather Knight. This is Match Centre Live. I'm Ridhima, Pathak, joined by Anjum Chopra. Anjum, the bowlers must have really impressed you tonight.
Yeah, exactly. The bowlers have done well. They stuck to their plan. That's exactly what Harmanpreet Kaur, the captain, has been mentioning, that they've discussed how the bowlers need to, in a similar zone where they left the game last evening, that's hit their way out and score as many as possible.
Right.
Otherwise, wicket wasn't that bad.
Right. You mentioned about Heather Knight. Well, she showed us how to bat on that surface, didn't she, playing a captaincy knock?
She did, and you expect that because Heather Knight was run a ball till the time she saw players coming in and going out, but then she's been shining in the park.
Right, now India needs to almost run a ball. Now it'll be interesting to see if Shefali Verma and Smriti Manna come out to bat just the way they are known for. India will need a running partnership to score this. Let's head down for the matches. Live action comes to you. Over the line, first look in the series, and the debutant here in the series made an impact, not just with the bat, but also with the ball, picking 2 wickets. Hello and welcome. You're watching the Match Centre Live. I'm Ridhima Pathak, joined by 2 lovely experts here, W.V. Raman and, of course, Shabani Bhaskar. W.V., I'm going to dive straight into the debutant in the series today, Amanjot Kaur. Now, first look into the series impresses not just with the bat, is because she walked in when India needed 11 of 11, but also with the ball.
She showed a lot of character, and to come out during that particular pressure situation.
To all that in WPL, she played for Mumbai Indians. So clearly she's taken a lot of experience out of that franchise. But Shivani, how good was she tonight? India continues as they continue to win bilateral series against India away or at home. Well, that's how is England wrapped up the series. Let me tell you, they won the first match by 38 runs and the second one by 4 wickets with 52 balls to spare. And here the third one, India capitalized on, of course, that bowling effort out there. And talking about bowling effort, we spoke about Shanka Patil. She also gets the player of the match. Now, she's debuting in the series. She gets the player of the match, picks up 3 wickets. What is your advice to this youngster?
Keep going the way she's doing, and the big thing here is that she'll put a lot.
Well, we'll continue talking about the bowlers, but we've got a brilliant batter here who's sneakishly joined us on our show. Hello there. You're not as quiet on that field as quiet you are here. I love how you walked in.
If I start talking, then I think all of us should go home.
No, that is true, Jamie.
So I will keep
go
quiet
for it.
here.
No, go
let
for
you
it.
do your job.
No, you should go for it. Tell me about everything that transpired. I know the series did not go our way, but the match today was brilliant, and that partnership that you had with Smriti, brilliant.
Yeah, I think the key over here, there was not an easy wicket to bat on. It was the same wicket that them.
Indeed, we all are. But more importantly, I want to know what was going out in the dressing room when Amanjot was batting, because she came in when India needed 11 of 11. That was a high-pressure situation. It was because the match had come pretty close. So what was going on in the dressing room?
I wouldn't lie, there were a bit of nerves, but at the same time, we were very confident that as long as Harman and Aman are there, we still had a lot of confidence that,
I have to say that, of course, you're very young yourself, but now the youngsters that are coming in, who are coming out of the WPL, whether it's Saika, Ishaq, Shanka Patil or Amanjot, just the fact that they feel no nerves. You're playing your international series. Amanjot gets a first look here. These are those two debutants. How fearless are these guys back in the dressing room?
oh, this is a fearless bunch. At the same time, very energetic and noisy, I feel quiet sometimes because it's Shreyanka and Saika and everyone
No,
coming
that
in.
can't be. That can't be.
No, I would say I am their captain now in the team, to make the noise in the dressing room. But at the same time, I would say credit goes to the WPL. They have played an entire season where Aman and Saika have played.
But what are the key learnings from the series, especially playing against an opponent like England, especially batting-wise, and also the T20 World Cup being around the corner?
Yeah. I think this is a very good preparation, like you said, for the World Cup. The first team meeting we had with Amol sir coming in the dressing room, we spoke about what is our ultimate goal. It's about the World Cup and keeping the bigger picture in mind. Then we set smaller goals. So I think it is important for us to give this team some time, and also a new coach coming in, we need to, give this team some time, because this team has a lot of potential. And at the same time, I would say the learnings would be, every game was a different.
Ooh, fingers crossed to that. I'll be looking forward to that. Love the confidence, Jemmy, but also love the confidence in your sweep shots. That is your go-to scoring shot, isn't it?
I think on this pitch, it is an ideal shot because the pitch was slow and to the bowler's best ball, the good length ball. So if you can disturb their liner length, then they'll give you outside off, they'll give you drives, they will get a little shaky. So that was the plan. Unfortunately, I got out playing a sweep shot, but I'll never stop playing a sweep shot because that's my strength, that gives me confidence. And yeah, I'll just try and execute it better next time.
Jem, you playing hockey obviously comes into play when you play the sweep shot.
Yeah.
But similarly, why can't you play more of this inside out on the outside? There also you scoop in hockey, don't you?
I do.
I don't know hockey, but I'm just asking you as a matter of curiosity.
I used to play hockey right here behind, firstly. But no, today's today's wicket, the ball was holding a bit. So it was a little more difficult for me to hit this, and I was sweeping well. So,
tell me more about Harman. How is she taking this series, and what was her approach going into this particular match? What does she tell you guys? And how is she as a person when it comes to situations like this?
I think Haridi is someone who loves challenges. She is someone who believes a lot even in youngsters.
And how's she doing? How's her injury? Because we saw that injury is pretty brutal.
Yeah, I asked her. She said it's completely fine. So I don't know if she's just telling me so that. But she looked pretty fine when she was running. So I don't think it's anything major. Maybe a couple of days of rest and.
Confirmation here from Jemmy. But now you go ahead and play the Test series against the same opponent. Preps for that?
Yeah, preps will start from, I think, tonight. For me, I thought about it because would have thought that I would hopefully get to make my Test debut right here in Mumbai in front of my family and in front of people I love. So I think these are special moments for me. For me, it was, playing for India, the ultimate goal. But, just to wear those whites, there's something special about it. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Even more special is the fact that, India is playing Test series in India after 9 years. That is going to be wonderful and quite memorable.
Yeah, 100%. I think we all are really looking forward to it.
Well, we can't wait to see you girls in the whites. Thank you so much for joining us here, Jemmy, and good job today, and congratulations to Team India on the win of this particular match. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, well, with that, we'll take a short break here, but we'll continue the conversation about India's Test series that begins 14th of December. You stay tuned as we go into the break. Take a look at India's winning moments. Welcome back. England clinched the series 2-1, but India will draw a lot of positives from this particular match. Also, a lot of experience that has been added to the clan facing an opponent like England as they gear up and eyes on the T20 World Cup next year. But right now, they will be facing and gearing up to playing the whites as they face England in a Test series, which started as they face England in a Test series.
Basically, it's a different format, that's very obvious, but what they need to really understand is that on occasions, so that is something that they'll perhaps have an occasion to do in a test match, which is going to be very useful for them.
Right. Shibani, what are your expectations out of it?
I'm looking forward to a good test match. It's a four-day test match, but it's going to be all about patience. Now, if you take the Indian domestic season, there are no long format games. You have T20s and you have one-day games, so 50-over games. So it's going to be, as WV mentioned, it has to be a mental shift. It's a lot about patience. When you're batting, you have to leave a lot of balls. So in T20 cricket or even one-day cricket, you're attacking. You want to feel bad on ball. You want to search for those runs sometimes. But in a test match, it's the balls that you leave that determine how good a test player you are. And in terms of bowling as well, it's a lot about patience, bowling in that channel, and just keeping it tight and wait for the batter to make the mistake. You can't always search for the wicket. The wicket will come to you if you just keep it right there and thereabouts.
That's right. Well, it is going to be really, really exciting. Thank you so much, WV, as well as Shibani. Now, for you guys, do remember to join us only on Jio Cinema and Sports 18, as we'll get you all the coverage 14th of December onwards. And it's going to be historic to see these girls in their whites, as this is the first test match on the